as everybody knows, hip hop is getting ready to turn 50 years old very soon.
Right.
Um, Someone like yourself who has seen it from the early stages up until now, what's your take? How do you feel about the hip hop turning 50? What's your thoughts?
Well, I love that it's turning 50, and I think KRS said that something about in the old school something. Rappers ain't 20 years old. When 50 years, we'll be the old school artists. I can't
Yeah,
remember the whole
yeah,
rhyme. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
so 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 I'm honored to have played a part in that. I'm honored that people still like some things that I did in the studio in 1987. You know what I'm saying? And Strong Island. We actually did that in the summer of '87, came out '88. So now here's what I have to say. I'm not a disgruntled old school artist. We'll be like, oh, these kids ain't doing the music we was doing. Our parents ain't really understand, but it was speaking to us. Yeah, it was a little more. And I'm old enough to them cats be like, we had beefs back in the days. We had all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? We had all that stuff going on, and we had all that too. You know what I'm saying? But we had social media. That's one of the things. But we had positivity, we had knowledge of self, we had all of those other things. You had Kid and Play to make you dance, you had Biz to make you laugh. You know what I'm saying? You had all different kind of things. And I think we don't have too many artists right now. Like everything is all one direction. Like everything is all one thing. Like nobody is all one thing. Like the weakest cat in the world, you back him into the corner and threaten his wife or his daughter or something. He could turn into a killer. You understand what I'm saying? So if you see your mom die, which I did, you're gonna see the hardest man cry. You know what I'm saying? So we have all of that in us. What made Tupac special? He probably was like one of the last of the three-dimensional artists. Like he had all of that. He wasn't all just hard and more pro. He was a little bit of all of that. We don't have a lot of those artists no more. You know what I'm saying? Like he was one of the last. We have a few. I love what Kendrick Lamar is doing. I love. Oh, and new. I've been waiting for somebody to ask me. Coast Contra
Oh,
is making me feel good about hip hop again, yo. I want to meet these cats one day. They
so do
fulfill.
I.
Yo,
So do we.
that the whole group is dope, but Eric Jamal is like. It's funny. I seen him talking in the interview, and he's all calm and stuff. He's always like, he's the
Animated
energetic
one,
boy,
yeah, yeah.
but he was just all calm. You know what I'm saying? When I saw him on Talib Kweli show, so that groups like that show me like hip hop still has a future. Hip hop, like the hip hop I know, isn't gone. You know what I'm saying? As long as I see, I think Premier said to me one time, he was like, it's like putting points on the board. He was like, no matter what the score is, as far as he was concerned, no matter what the score is, now how far we're down, like real hip hop, as long as he continues, as long as there's time on the clock, and as long as he continues to put points on the board, he's always in the game. And I live by that too. You know what I'm saying? So like Coast Contra is out there putting points on the board. Like we might be far behind as far as like real hip hop right now, but as long as there's Coast Contra out there putting points on the board, real hip hop is not dead. And they're not the only ones, but they are my all-time
They're on
favorite.
fire right now, bro.
There's nothing they can't come across my screen or my timeline for anything, and I don't stop watch. That
Yeah,
never
yeah,
freestyle I watch forever, over and over and over. So
yeah.
Eric Jamal is like my all-time favorite. Like but that whole group is dope. But yeah. So I like I do understand that like our music spoke to us and where we were. This new music, these new kids, this is where they are. This music speaks to them. And I understand that I am not in their demographics. Like they're not making music for me like Chuck and then wasn't making music for my moms. You know what I'm saying? My dad. So they didn't understand
Right.
it. So I do get that. I wish it wouldn't be all about, killing and all negative and stuff like that. And that's why I love Kendrick Lamar. I think he's one of the ones that still got like that creativity and you know what I'm saying? And still bringing some, we'll talk about the police brutality and talk about some of the issues in his joint. You know what I'm saying? But he goes, he got a full, he might be like one of your three-dimensional artists because he's like, and like KRS, we always joke about, and will contradict himself like KRS.
Right.
Like he'll saying peace, peace, and me saying, my Uzi weighs a ton the next day. So, you know what I'm saying? Like Kendrick Lamar is like that. You know what I'm saying for me? So I'm happy that it's still going. Whatever role I can continue to play in it, covering whatever I can cover. I had a short-lived part of the Christian hip hop. I had a site called Spiritual Minded. It was a Christian hip hop public online joint like Black Westchester and podcasts, and that I've seen that grow, and I've seen some of them artists really grow, and a couple of them actually, Marley Music was one of the few that actually went mainstream. Like everybody, he's more commercial, and Lecrae and a few of them, but there's a lot of dudes where it used to be a pastor on a keyboard just trying to rap a little bit, but couldn't keep the beat. You'd be like, yo, dude, this is corny. Like, I can't get it. Like, you got real hip hop heads who got saved, and now they want to make positive music. So I had a little bit in that chapter too. I played a little bit in that chapter in Atlanta. So I'm glad to have played a lot of different parts. And I said, Little Kim's first national interview, I played a lot of parts in a lot of the different chapters. And I hope, I want to see where these kids, those Coast Contras, the Kendrick Lamars, the cats like that, J. Cole, you know what I'm saying? The people just, where they gonna take it? You know what I'm saying? When I love what Talib Kweli is doing with his show. I love, keeping hip hop alive and having those conversations. I love that. Like, I really enjoy all of that. So I'm a fan. I've always been a fan. Even when I was writing, my tag was the professional hip hop junkie. Like, dude, I get paid to hang out with. Who wouldn't want to get paid to hang out with their favorite artists, actors, and ball players? You get paid to go hang out with them and write about them and go to dinner with them, and you know what I'm saying? Like, who don't want that? Like, so I've had a charmed life. I've got to meet a lot of my heroes, and
Very dope.
Very dope.
Yes. I want to thank you for your time. And I want to thank y'all for. I'm only around. JVC Force is only still spoken because cats like y'all do stuff like this. Like, you understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of people ain't talking about a lot of people in my era. Like, they forgot about a lot of people, and they're not still talking about them. So the fact that we having these conversations and you allow me on your platform, this is huge.
Appreciate that. It's an honor.
Thank you.